Going live. What's going on, guys? Happy Saturday night. Just thought I would check in, see how you all are doing, see what you all are thinking. Because here in Chicago, man, it is like some crazy weather here. Who's in the Midwest here? We have like 50-mile-per-hour winds or more. I swear. It's like the Three Little Pigs blow your house down. Daniela, hello from Germany. How are you? First one in. Dawn Taylor's here. How's it going? I'm sure most everybody has plans, but a few of you might come out and hang with me, like Cheryl D. How's it going? Amanda, oh, faithful Amanda's here. How y'all doing? Great to see you. Here they come. Here comes the gang. You guys enjoying your Saturday nights? Hope you have some good weather, because here it's horrible. I don't even want to go outside. Mary from Iowa, how's it going? Is it windy there like here? Yeah, sparkle plenty. Where are you at? I see the windy, looks like windy waves. H, what's going on? How you doing? Is that HH? Durwood's here. Durwood, you should be out at the tavern tonight with the boys. What's going on? You should be at Docks on Wakanda Lake. Bangs Lake. Teddy Bear from Minnesota. How you doing? What's going on? Red Jordan from Kentucky. Boy, oh boy, we got a pretty good showing tonight. Pretty cool. A couple hundred of the gang. Yeah. So what's new? So I was supposed to meet up with Britton this morning to do some recon and give him a little thumb drive of a whole like 6 hours worth of IR infrared monitorization of the spooked haunted hotel we went to. We did a road trip. You probably saw on Instagram. Coral Lewis from Beloit. How you doing? Beloit's not too far from Elkhorn. Went right by you there when we did the Beast of Bray. Judy Clark, hello from Kansas. Yeah, we were in Lawrence, my favorite town in Kansas. Lawrence, Kansas. Watching Netflix about bodybuilder murder, Amy Green. I'm watching Netflix. I'm probably the last one to watch it, the Peaky Blinders. I'm like on season 4 now, like I'm binge watching it, which is the way I like to do it. I don't like to wait. I want to do it on my schedule. Man, Peaky Blinders, like everyone always has a cigarette in their mouth and they always have a whiskey in the other hand. It's like I'm getting drunk and smoke sick just watching it. I love it. Smiley Face enjoys both of the channels. Very cool. Yeah, we got a lot of content coming out there. Pepperly loves the blinders, the Peaky Blinders with the razor blades. I never knew that. Maybe when I go to England, I'll visit one of the Peaky Blinders. Go to their grave. Ashley, what's going on? How you doing? What do you got the sub to IQ? Ashley's pushing IQ. Ashley, you get a bonus. Yeah, IQ channel. So we've been, Britt and I have been working really hard on that the last few days. And Judy Clark, like Judy Clark says, Britton is a great asset. I hope you guys like Britton because you're going to see a lot more of him on the IQ channel. He's going to appear. Like we had Durwood here too. Durwood, we'll get together again on this channel, but yeah, it's mostly going to be me. Nothing much is changing except that the content volume is going to go down for the next couple of months through the holidays until I get back in January on my winter trip, taking a couple of months and doing some stuff with we got a lot of content where we got some great stories on the IQ channel. Me and Britton are having a blast. And he's just a good friend. I don't know if you know, he's my 4th son, Britton. I've got 4 sons now. I had 3, but in the last year, I don't know, I have 4 sons. And we've welcomed each other into each other's family. It's pretty cool, really close friend. Do you ever come to Ontario? Shop Girl Star says, I spent a lot of time in Ontario, but not the face of the forgotten. I probably spent 20 years flying my de Havilland Beaver seaplane into Rainy Lake. So Fort Francis, they know me, International Falls, at the airport on Rainy Lake, Lac La Croix, and Red Lake, Manitoba, up on my Arctic expeditions, but not in the last few years. Do you want a brother? Kurt says, yeah, come on, Kurt. I could use all the brothers I can get. I like people to watch my back. Betty's here, Betty Feliciano. How you doing, Betty? Yeah, so IQ Channel, we are cranking away. We were in Lawrence, Kansas. We were at the Eldridge Hotel. Have you heard of the Eldridge? Right down the street from Stull Cemetery. Colonel Eldridge. So we're going to do a two-part next Sunday night. This is going to be a true double feature, not tomorrow night, but the next Sunday night on the Eldridge. And it's the Eldridge family. So on Face of the Forgotten, we're going to be talking a lot about the Eldridge family, Colonel Eldridge, Battle of Quantrill's raid. It wasn't a battle. It was a massacre. And then we're going to go to the Eldridge Hotel. Britton and I got a room each, and I got the haunted room. I flipped the coin. And we had infrared going. We had radio. We had magnetic. We did a lot of surveying, and we did have some stuff happen. Not sensationalized. Again, as like, I saw somebody wrote about the Beast of Bray with the thermal camera. Thanks. Yeah, that was fun. So, but tomorrow night, we're just going to do the old Faces of the Forgotten premiere up in Wisconsin. And then it will be followed by an 8:30 tomorrow night on a very spooky story. Do you guys remember, you guys are here on this channel, the story of Marianne Lambert, the ghost of Sheridan Drive? This is in Lake Forest. I told that story about 1.5 years ago, came across Lake Michigan with a drone low over the ice fields and frozen into the cemetery where there's that angel on the ground. Her hands are like this. So you should check that story out if you want to see the follow-up, because we did it all. We went to the train station. We followed her path to her lover's nest with the boy. And from there, we take you in the car to the murder location or the location of what she did, which I can't see on YouTube anymore because that word is heavily restricted, the S word. And then we actually do a lot of paranormal research there. And then we take the drive down Sheridan at night looking for her ghost. All right, enough on the IQ channel. So that's the way it's going. Don Gross says 50-mile gusts in northern Indiana. Yeah, I think we've got even more. My garbage cans all blew over. We store out the side of the house where you can't see them, and now you can see them all over the lawn, the empty garbage cans. Love your jacket, Ron. Michael Maine. Are you a University of Kentucky fan? You know, I got to tell you, at heart, I'm a Jayhawk. Got to cover this up, Jayhawk. But I like to spread the love. So you see me wear a few different things. I just love college basketball. It's just so great. Bill Self got suspended 4 games. Self incurred, I think, going back to Zion. Anyway, love the Jayhawks. So yeah, you're going to see next week. We are back at Oak Hill Cemetery next Sunday night. It's about 15-minute premiere with Britain. So we got some, we got Britain, we get some really good history, not just the Ron history. We step it up to the Britain history. He just digs in, he burrows in, and he solves some mysteries there at the cemetery, a big mystery at the cemetery at the grave. But you'll have to wait to see that. Bev Pinky. I still want to see your medium. Oh, Bev. Michael Craigie, thanks for the 20. Some cash from the from Jayhawk Mike. Very cool. All right. I got to stay on topic here with what you were asking. I have gone through I shouldn't say I've gone through. I have connected with about 20 psychics, mediums for IQ channel. And, I'm a skeptic and I am being real careful. And the history for the last month solid. I've been going hard. And I'll just tell you the typical thing is I started on the internet and I looked at, you look on Google or maps and they have, like, if you're looking for a store, shopping for a psychic. I thought I'd start. I knew that wasn't the way to go, but thought I'd start that way. And every single one of them that I connected to, if they would call me back, just hung up on me. If the first words out of my mouth weren't, yes, I'll pay for a reading, what time? Once I talked about that we were going to go to a location and we were looking for energies, click, or no response on text. I had one that was just so rude that I wrote back. I said, you are really, disrespectful. Like, you can just say no. So we also have, Luna, $5. Thank you. You're in San Francisco recuperating from a terrible cold. After 2 years. I thought a 2-year cold. Yeah, I'm knock on wood. It's been about 2 years since I've really gotten sick, but my son here has influenza A, and we've quarantined him in the house here. But what does that mean? He wants to get closer. Now he wants to give me a hug. I think he wants to share his love all of a sudden. So funny. What is up with that, Nathan? He's getting better. We got him. He got some antibiotics, and he's doing good. So no worries. But so far, I'm good. I hope I don't catch it. But back to the mediums, the psychics. Britton and I had some encounters. So we were nowhere yet. We're looking for big time. El Sarles, $10. Thank you. Here's some for the cause. Very cool. So I cautiously optimistic. Monday, we have an all-day adventure that we are going to be filming with a renowned medium psychic from Chicago. It's a he. He works with police. He's very low key. He does not advertise. I got lucky to meet with him. First words out of his mouth when I met with him is, I have nothing to prove, because again, I said, we're doing research on this and we want to see. And I loved hearing that. I've got nothing to prove. I'm not going to say his name yet. You're going to find out soon, because I have this feeling we're going to be doing a lot together, because we spent an hour together at his office. He's big time pro in that he's been on the news here. He's big time. And I still am skeptical, and I use my sense of gut, my sense of judgment. And after spending an hour with him, and then we've been interchanging, I've got a really good feeling. So Britton, the three of us are going to go out Monday morning. We're going to go about 2 hours from here on this adventure. We're just going to see what happens. Doesn't know much about what we're doing, and we're just going to roll the camera and see what happens. I have no expectations. And then on the way home, we are going to it was to really just scope out a really, I don't want to give it away, but it's a really spooky place. And since it's on the way home from Wisconsin, we're not only scope it out, I'm going to have the camera running because I don't know what's going to happen. But again, that's IQ. Let's focus back on, I know you guys, I want to keep Faces of the Forgotten fairly separate topics from paranormal, because some people don't like the paranormal. They think it's gimmicky. They don't believe it. Some, it's a big turnoff. So we're keeping Faces of Forgotten as it is. Britton will appear once in a while, but it's mostly me. It's all the same. And I'll have to tell you about my winter trip some more, starting in January, right after New Year's. How is Little Fella Stone coming? Amy Green says. Little Feller Stone is in. It's been in for 3 months. And you can go back if you go to community, maybe Ashley or Alice. I don't know if you can find the link to the posts and even video. I did a whole video on Little Feller, so that's in. But we are working right now on 4 other stones. The one we are about there with The one that is in California for the Babes of Inglewood, Jeanette Stevens. That is a go, and it just takes so much time. We're finally at the point where the stone can start getting ordered. So then it's going to be another year. But hey, it's not a stone. Actually, I think we're going to get her a bronze. What else we got going? We still have Auburn, New York, the Keller family. That's been approved and it's in manufacturing, which means that's 6 months. But that's a very expensive custom stone to match the parents. What else we got? You guys tell me. I try to keep you posted. We have 2 others. Oh, the victim of John Wayne Gacy, who's been anonymous. We're working with Frank Troost, and the ragged stranger, who we call the unknown stranger, at Oak Ridge across from Troost. Troost is working on that with his picture. So we're doing all of those. And I think we have one more. So what do we got? Doug Yerold, greetings from Lachhachi. Is that how you pronounce it? In Florida. Doug loves the faces. All right, cool. So what else is going on, guys? Kind of lost you in the chat there a little bit. Hey, Johan Goulet. No, it's Joanne, because it's a woman. But it's spelled almost Joanne. It's got to be Joanne, right? $10. Thank you. CA, $10. Canadian. Okay. I think that's like $12 US. I think you guys have on the exchange rate there. Some of the mediums are gifted and some are fake for sure. The paranormal does exist. Happened to me when I was a kid. As I was saying, I agree with you, Joanne. And as I was saying, and I think mediums is a topic we can talk about more here on Faces. I mean, it's not like complete paranormal, but my belief now, especially my belief is kind of confirmed from what I'm going to say is a month ago when I really dug in, and Britain's been helping me, but I have really been burrowing in, talking to, and it's not just on the internet. I have gone to all the stores, I call them, or storefronts of spirit shops and talking to the owners and who do you recommend. And I think that you can put it in 3 categories. The most obvious being the charlatans, the fakes, which I'm going to go out on I'm going to say half the people out there. Well, and you know what? I'm just going to throw this out here. I'm not going to be exact, but let's just kind of say I'm going to take half of them off the table. They're just fakes. I want to make money. Rose Grace, $2. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then on the other half, I'm going to tell you, I think the majority of them are, I don't know what percentage are dreamers. I think that they honestly believe that they are psychics and they can just tap in, and maybe they can a little bit, but I think for the most part, they're just dreamers. And then there's people that are in between both, where they kind of believe they can do it, but they're making stuff up. They're feeding off what you say. I see a lot of that. Check on you, but they're listening very carefully. Castaways, $10 Canadian. Thank you. Greetings from British Columbia. Are you planning a trip up here at all to Canada? I still don't have that in the books. We're talking about, I have one story in Ontario that I have to do someday, like even before I started the channel. But I hope to get to Canada, man. I wish I had a clone. I've got hundreds of stories now. Every state I've got categorized. Anyway, back to the medium thing. I think that there's a very small percentage of people that really are gifted, that really can do it. And I think we may have connected with one of them. And what's great is he and I have really gotten along. He hasn't met Britton yet, but we're going on our first outing Monday, and all day, two topics, 2 places where we are going to investigate. And it's going to be more me laying back and not yapping and just laying it out there. Now, the other thing about this gentleman that's really cool, he was going to brag a little bit. He was hired many years ago where other psychics would not do it. And they said, don't go to, I think it was to Europe, or it was somewhere across the States, and they flew him there. It was a TV thing, kind of like, the stuff Discovery Channel. Wasn't Discovery Channel, but they sight unseen, topic unseen, not telling him, I don't think, anything. And he's like, I'm going to let the chips fall. And he went, and he actually, it had to do with a fireman that died, and he saw the firemen, and they were just all like, holy cow, you are for real. He's told me some stuff here locally, also on the Eastland disaster, stuff that I thought I was an expert on, that Britton and I, that we did not know, related to the morgue, the other morgue. I didn't know there was another morgue. So I think that, just overall, to wrap up on it, I think mediums, psychics, so far, a lot of investigating to do, but so far, I think that there's just a very small percentage. And you guys are out there, I know, and some of you may be watching this channel, and Britt and I would love to connect with you. Pam Zachrist, love the channel, been curious sometime, how did you and Britton meet? I thought you mentioned in one of the FAQs, moved the lone wolf explorer. Have you personally changed by your relationship with Britton? Well, I'll start with that. Yeah, I've been enriched. He's like a fourth son to me. We've gotten really close, and he's a lovely person. He's very sensitive, very knowledgeable. He's just a good guy, and he's very loyal to his friends, and we've gotten very close. So yeah, I'd say we did meet Britton, just like I met Durwood and some of the others that we've connected, and sometimes I'll bring into the fold, and I will do so in the future when it feels right. But Britton and I it's one of those things you can't predict, and we just started clicking and doing more stuff together. And also, it's important, I needed to kind of see, did you guys like him? And I've heard no negative comments. The only negative that I've heard, which isn't really negative, is like, Ron, we like you, and whether it's Britton or anybody else, it could be Michael Jordan. Not that I'm comparing myself to Michael Jordan, but you know what I mean. It's like it's kind of like the other, like Scott or Harmon, Scott on tape. You want to see Scott. You don't want to see, but that's why I'm being careful with Britton on Face the Forgotten. We'll have him come on sometimes and once in a while, and we'll just kind of keep things balanced and we'll see what you guys think. I mean, if you guys all rah and you just we want to see more of Britton, we're going to do more Britton, because I always want my Britton fix. I kind of miss him. We were on the Kansas trip, and I got up this morning, and I'm like, oh, I miss Britton, just like I miss Nathan or Danny or Kyle. I miss those guys. So that's, yeah, I know you guys like Britton. Betty Feliciano likes Britton. Patricia Jacobs, Britton is the bomb. Right on. Any thoughts on tarot card readers? Don Gross asks. Yeah, we're open to it all. That's on our list. The only thing on our list that I don't think we're going to try is the Ouija board. We're going to explore it, but we are not going to, like Mary Worth. I can never say never. And the same with the voodoo. So Face the Forgotten, I'm going to want to get references down in New Orleans, but for both channels I want to study the voodoo arts, not to go do it, but I'm curious about it, to learn the history and talk to some real practitioners and educate ourselves. That's all. So don't worry, I'm not going to dive down a well head first. And yeah, the comments are coming in that everybody loves Britton. I mean, I've not, unless somebody just got booted. Amanda Panda says Britton rocks. Very cool. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Britton. We should have a channel called Britton. Britton rocks. How about it? Should we start that? Hi from Australia, Kathy Ashton. Isn't this fun, hanging out on a Saturday night? We'll have to do this more often. Jay Morgan says, Ouija bad. You're right. Ron, do you have nightmares from doing paranormal? No, I don't. Not at all. I have nightmares from taking a nap this afternoon, and I think my son Nathan left the garage door open, and with 50-mile-per-hour winds, the kitchen door and the woman who is our alarm computer going, garage door open. And that was my nap. It was about 320 times I counted that she was the anyway, that's what I have nightmares from. But no, I don't have nightmares. I don't have nightmares from any of this stuff. I don't know why. Good comments still coming in from Britain. Very cool. Renee loves the living room. Hey, if you look over there, can you tell what that is right on my fingertip? That's my bragging plaque. What are your thoughts on past life regression? Star Spangled, how you doing? Totally believe in it. Well, you know I believe in reincarnation, and past life regression is on my list. I'm afraid to do it, though, because I need to be in control. I don't want to, that's hypnotism. And I'm actually that's one thing I'm very fearful is to be under a hypnotist because I just like drugs and drinking, I don't do drugs. I never have. And drinking, I've never got to the point, I'm not a big drinker. I do enjoy my whiskey, but I always like to be in control. I have to be in control. And the stories about people passing out, not remembering, that's never happened to me in my life. And when I think of hypnotism, I feel like someone's knocked me out and they're doing to me whatever they want. Not that they're going to like do something stupid, but like, who knows what they're going to ask me. I have skeletons in my closet. I don't want anybody to know. I murdered my parents. No, just kidding. You and Britain make a good team. All right, you guys, I'm getting the message. Mama Lovify, what's wrong with whiskey? What's so funny? Jack Daniels. That's what I drink. In fact, I was thinking, so I'm watching Peaky Blinders, right? Speaking of drinking and all. And now, you know how it was rated R, sex, nudity, foul language? Now they've added smoking. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you're going to like put smoking. Now, okay, yeah, I'm not promoting smoking, but where's the world going here? I'm so scared of everything. Smoking. Oh. Yeah, and YouTube is, I don't know. Everybody's going that way, but that was on Netflix. Smoking. Give me a break. Let's see who we got. Where's Cody? Oh, you guys want to see Cody? Tell me if Cody's here. She's whining around. If you want to see Cody, I'll bring her over here. But yeah, I smoked a pipe and very few people had a problem with that. Yeah, Donna Puckett smoking what? Smoking pot. But pot is legalized. Now what happens? Are we going to Netflix show people smoking pot and there's going to be no warning, but if you smoke a cigarette. Anyway, I just don't go for that kind of hypocrite whole society thing. Being too careful. Come on. The world has gone nuts, Renee says. Renee to Julia. How you doing? Where you at, Renee? Hopefully I could see where you're at. What do we got? We got 367 people. What a crowd. How cool. 370. This is really fun. What do you want to talk about? Want to hear a funny story? You want to hear a funny story from Forest Home Cemetery where our live stream just like blew up because of solar flares? Guys, I got to tell you something. Forest Home Cemetery is my favorite, spookiest cemetery. Belle Gunness is buried there, Adolf Lutgert. And that whole cemetery and the mausoleums you can see inside and bones and like that whole place is the coolest place. And Paul Harvey and his wife, Gloria. So we go parking ferry, $5. Thank you. So we Team Beard, Flutter, right on. So Britton and I plan, and Deb at Forest Home, who is in charge. She is so freaking cool. And she's like, let's go in the vault. Let's find Adolf Lutgert. I'll help you. And she's like on her knees, on the floor, pulling the files, and she finds Lutgert's grave. And I was like, can we come do a live stream here into the darkness? Promise we'll be good. And she's like, I think it's good. We'll make it happen for you. So we had the whole thing set up and we go there and what happens? Britton said that he was having problems with his Android coming from downtown 20 miles away. Everything was lagging. Cemeteries Down Under. What's going on? $5. Thank you. Go watch Cemeteries Down Under. And so we were doomed. We started the live stream. We were going to go Faces for an hour, then Darkness, IQ. We had big flashlights. We were going to hit the spooky mausoleums. Oh, man. and it just like kept crashing. And if that buffering and crashing, I just like call it. So I'm really disappointed about that. But the funny story is there, not only is Deb cool, but there's two guys. One is named Jerry and the other name is Dale. And they're the guys out in the field. They're doing they got the crews, they're burying people. They're doing all the grave digging and all that stuff. And really good guys. It's just like meeting Gary and Cootie at Oak Ridge. And they all know each other, and they know Frank Troost. They're all like buddies. And I'm like Britton and I are getting in that group. It's really cool. So we're sitting there and we're just jibing around, and Jerry goes, because we were talking about the limitations, and when I first met them, they were like, "You can't film here." That's how the game starts. And then I talked to Deb, and then everything's copacetic, and then so friends with those guys now. So Jerry tells me the story. One of the reasons, the goofy stuff that goes on in the cemeteries by weird people and vandals and all that stuff we talk about. So he told me this story. Listen to this. It was just a couple months ago, I think, where they're rolling around, and all of a sudden one of the guys sees a beautiful naked woman standing on top of one of the low tombs or something, and there's some knucklehead with a big camera, and she's like modeling, and he's snapping pictures up at her, and they're doing this whole thing. And so they call on the radio, and Jerry's like, "What?" So I'll get over there. Now, in the meantime, the call goes over the walkie-talkie, and there's like 20 guys in trucks and tractors and lawnmowers. And then next thing you know, all the equipment is like, everybody's over there. Where's the crews? And they're all like, "Oh, they're just driving by. They got to go that way." So the whole cemetery shuts down. So Jerry goes over there. I don't know if I think Dale was with them. They go over there, and they're like, they walk up. They're like, "Ma'am," and Jerry takes his jacket off and gives it to her, covers her. It's like, "You can't do this." And she takes the jacket off and throws it. "What do you mean?" And she's like being obnoxious. He's like, "Ma'am, there's a family right over there." And there's like a family, and they're having it might have even been a small internment funeral. I don't know. But at the very least, it was a family with kids, like right over there. He's like, she goes, "I'm not bothering them." He goes, "Well, I love this line." Jerry goes, "Well, you're bothering me. So put this on." And he like put it on her, and he like wrapped it up. So they finally shut that down. I guess as she walked out, he told me that she took the jacket and she threw it in his face, and she just wiggled her butt and walked away like nothing was going on, right onto First Avenue or whatever road that is. And I was like, "You got it." He goes, "Oh," and then Dale jumps in. He goes, "Oh, that's not the best part." I go, "What?" He goes, "We were at Home Depot like 3 months later, and we're going through the cashier's line. And oh, by the way, she was a redhead, because she's a redhead. And there's this redhead, and she's looking at us, and she's like, giving us this look. We're like, "What?" She goes, "Don't you recognize me?" And then Dale, like, he goes, "I didn't recognize you with your clothes off." So they saw her at the Walmart, and she was all nice all of a sudden. So anyway, now this is like happening every day across the country at the cemeteries. Can you imagine? And much worse. I told you when I shot the Rasputin daughter at Roseland. What's that cemetery in LA, guys, where I did Rasputin's daughter's story? Anyway, the security guy there was telling me he cut I got enough filming in, but then he cut me short. He says, "You got to stop. Nobody's allowed in here unless you're family, and absolutely no filming." Why? I got to be friends with him, and he's like telling me the stories. Yeah, there was a witch that was over a grave of this nice couple that died a few years ago, and she was doing seances with candles. We had to throw her out. There was another, she goes, all the time during the day and night, there's couples that go have sex on top of graves. And he was just telling me the most ridiculous stories. So yeah, just imagine what's going on. Got Lock those places up. Amy Green, Forest Lawn. No. That's the big. It's called Rosadale something. Maybe I missed it. You guys tell me. Out in LA. It's an older cemetery with unbelievable statuary art. It's got a pyramid. It's got some cool mausoleums. It's the one that I did, the daughter of Rasputin. Anyway, yeah, we got. Oh yeah, we do. Michael Maine. Yeah, we got 400 plus here. Let's keep this rolling. Let's go. What do you guys say? What do you want to talk about? Angelus Rosedale Cemetery, Nolan. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, that place is really cool, but man, they don't go be in there even with your cell phone. They will swoop in on you. Just like, oh, what's the other one? I wanted to do Bela Lugosi. I barely pulled that off before I got thrown out. That's a Catholic cemetery. LA's really uptight about, filming graves. I mean, they freak out, and so do some cemeteries. No, not Hollywood Forever. It's the Holy Cross in Culver City. I'm pretty sure. Is that in Culver City? That one. But a lot of the cemeteries were very cool. Yeah, Rosedale Cemetery, Kimberly, or Rose. It's not Rosedale. It's called Rose. It's kind of a weird name. But anyway, the Rasputin daughter one. Yeah, you wonder, Ashley, thank you for posting that. The Bela Lugosi one I did. That's why I narrated the whole thing after the fact, which actually turned like a documentary. What I did is I took what footage I had and I slowed it way, way down because I literally had 3 minutes of video that I had to turn into 20-minute episode or 15-minute episodes. I slowed it way, way down and I put a lot of Bela Lugosi pictures in with music. It turned out pretty good, don't you think? That was fun. What are we going to do next Halloween? How am I going to, did I top myself this year or did I just hold bar? I hope I topped myself. I tried to. What are we going to do next Halloween? Let's start thinking, because when I'm on the road in another state, I got this winter trip coming up. If it's this Halloween, I'll save it. I'll do it and save it. So keep those Halloween stories. You know what I need from you all? Yeah, I think it's, I don't know, Kay, I don't know if it's Roselawn. Renee, Julia likes the music in my videos. Thanks. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on the music part, as I've always have. The Lambert lady that you did a story about is a relationship of mine on my great grandmother's side, Mary Carpenter. Seriously? Marion Lambert, you're related to. You got to come back to me on that, Mary. Put a big I'm going to allow you to use caps in your comment when you come back on that response. Flight 4109, Florida, Donna Puckett. Is that the Everglades one? Because I have that. I think I do have that on my list. I'm looking for more Florida stories. I'm looking for more paranormal stuff for Louisiana. I'm looking for paranormal stuff in Florida. I'm pretty well covered on stories, but I'm always looking for better stories. Is that Pumpkinhead voice laugh you, Ron? No, it is not me. I bought it like 2 years ago. That's not me. That's funny. You think that could be me. I will miss Pumpkin Face, Michael Mann says. Yeah, Pumpkin Face will be back next year if you guys like them, for sure. But anyway, so the winter trip, we're going to be going. I'm going to take you guys to Arkansas. I have 2 stories there. And keep pumping me the stories. You guys have great suggestions because the stories I have now planned, some could fall off with better ones, that I like. It's all about what intrigues me personally. It's what it's all about. I like suggestions, but I don't do requests. I'll take suggestions. Plane crash in Willowbrook. Yeah, I've got that on my list, Sarah. You found artifacts, or your parents did. Oh, wow. Pieces of metal, pieces of aluminum from the plane. Oh, that's kind of spooky. Be careful where you put those. Hope you don't have those in your bedroom. Those things carry energies. The energies attaches. Now, Marion Lambert, when you watch Marion Lambert, if you get on IQ channel, I don't want to keep talking about IQ channel, but I spend 5 minutes talking about the science of the waves, from the gamma rays all the way the visible light, all the way to the radio waves, an X-ray all the way back, radio waves, microwaves, and infrared, which those three we're spending a lot of time with equipment on. Why would we do that? Because our bodies emit that. So when you think about it, when you die, your energies, if they stay and it's like energies, that's what you want to look for. You don't want to look for gamma rays. I'm not saying we don't have a gamma ray that comes out of us once in a while, and it's also too dangerous. Sirloin. We're like in 4th grade in gym class. Gym shoe. Okay, we got sirloin for $2. My ex just gave me a haunted frying pan. Thanks. Charlon for $1. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Sandra McGlinchy. Did I pronounce that right? Throwing out the roses for Rose Hill. Very cool. Yeah. Oh, Tammy's asking for Cody. You guys want me to get Cody? Maybe I missed some of that. Cody, come. I hear her. Christina, $5. Oh, did you see her? Hello. Come on up. Come say hi to everybody here. What do I have? What's this? Get it. Are you a good girl? Yeah, that's my baby. Look, who's here? Who's here? What's this? Oh, who's here? Oh, she's on alert. This wind is driving both her and, I have another lab named Sadie. Let's see if you can see her. It's Sadie down there. Sadie, come. Sadie, oh, what a good girl. Come on, good girl. We got Sadie's pretty old. Sadie is in the older community, like me. Cody is a 4-year-old puppy. She's, you know what I love about dogs? It's like a 5-year-old. When your kids were 5 years old, you come home, Daddy, Mommy. They never get older than 5 years old. They're always happy to see you. Cody needs her own channel. That's what's too bad about cemeteries is we've got dogs not allowed. Now, I really respect that, and it's a personal thing for me, but I can't stand seeing the dog walkers in cemeteries. And one of the channels in England I happened upon, and I'm watching the back of the dog, and he goes right to a grave, lifts his leg, and pisses on the grave. And it's a cemetery where Bram Stoker is buried, I think. It just makes me sick. And the woman's like, I don't care. Anyway, it's so disrespectful. It's not a place for dogs, in my opinion. Man, I know, and I'm a dog lover. Okay. Anywho, what else is happening? What else do I got on my little list? Well, let's see. I noted a few things. Oh, you know what I wanted to tell you? So you remember the story we did with Ashley and Britton? We did the angel story up in Wisconsin, and her hands were bleeding, and the S word. She walked down to the lake and bad things. What's the matter, Sadie? Come. I might have to give Sadie a cookie to pass fire. She's whining. And that harmless little episode, YouTube demonetized and actually put a warning on it for people like underage, and this is content disturbing, whatever. But I got to give YouTube a shout out because for the first time, because, I went Angelus Rosedale. That's it. Dawn, right on. Angelus Rosedale. And I got to give YouTube for the very first time I disputed it. And I went back hard at them, and they came back. They said, you're right. This is fine. This does not breach our self-harm policy. So I got to give a shout out to YouTube. All right? Come on. What's the matter, Sadie? Sadie's whining. Come here. Here, I'm going to give Sadie a cookie. I'll be right back. All right? Who wants a cookie? Or do you got to go out? You were just out. All right, let's do the cookies. Let's do it this way. Watch this. Oh, ready? Sit. Oh, yeah. Sadie, no. Sit. Here it comes. Look. Oh, she dropped it. All right, here it comes. Ready? Sit. Stay. Look. Oh, right in the, over here. Go, Sadie, go. Oh, nice catch. Beautiful. She nailed it. I think you guys missed that one. We need a replay for Sadie. Oh, dropped it. Okay, last one. Oh, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. All right. That was the show. That was the show for the dogs. All right. What are we talking about here? How old is Sadie? Jeff, Sadie is 12. And she's a little scared of stuff now. She's like, when storms come and all this big wind today, she's been pretty scared of stuff. So yeah, back to YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Never thought I would say that. So I talked about the winter trip. Oh, the winter trip. That's what I want to tell you guys. So Arkansas, 2 big stories. If there's more, I will attack it. From there, I'm going to go to Texas. I've got a lot of stories of Texas. I don't think I'm going to even do them all. And I'm going to be starting out in Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm going to work my way to Austin, and I am going to be going to San Antonio. Hold on a second. I have to let her out. I don't have to walk her. I just got to let her out. What's the matter? You got to go outside? Come on. I think she had to go to the bathroom. Anyway, so I'm gonna be doing a lot in Texas, and then I'm gonna head eastbound and down, right? So I'm gonna hook up with Britton. I think I mentioned this already, but we're gonna hook up with Britton in New Orleans, and Britton's gonna fly down, and we're gonna be together in my truck eastbound and down. You're gonna try and meet us there, and we're gonna do some stories that aren't the usual. We're not going to do St. Louis #1. I've done all the cool. I think I've done almost all the cool New Orleans cemeteries from Metairie to, I think I've covered St. Louis #1 and #2 and #3. I think we've covered a lot of that. I want to cover some cool stuff and it's like that stuff, like then everyone else starts doing it. And that's one thing I don't like doing. I don't like stuff that other YouTubers are doing. I want to do my own stuff. Not be tell the same story. And then we're going to head from there eastbound. We're going to be in Florida. So I'm looking for more and more Florida stuff. IQ and Face the Forgotten. And then we're going to head north. We're going to, there's one story I want to do in Georgia. And there's one story I really want to do. Guys, in Virginia, I really want to hit Virginia. What is Virginia like in February? Because that'll be kind of on the circle coming home. I think we're going to go through Memphis coming home. But what is Virginia like? Tell me. Is it like 40s and 50s, I'm hoping? Or is it like New York, Chicago? Because New York, that's like way up there, right? Still, we got some latitude down. Gotta go. Svengoolie comes on in a few minutes. Svengoolie, oh man, Debbie Butler, enjoy, no problem. Thanks for hanging out with us. I didn't know Svengoolie's still on, man. When I get off this live, I'm gonna go find Svengoolie. Debbie, tell me where do I go watch? Is he on like TV or is he on? He's not on Netflix, I know. Wouldn't it be cool if Svengoolie came and joined us, or an IQ channel maybe? I'm right below Virginia in North Carolina, Flutterby says. So what's the weather like there in January? I'm looking. Somebody's got to go pee. Are you coming back, Betty? Come on back. All right, I'm looking for you guys near West Virginia. Let me know what the weather. A lot Hamptons. Betty is right. What is she right about? I must have missed that one. Who do you think will win the World Series? I don't know. I'm not a baseball guy. I'm not a football guy. I'm a basketball nut. But I don't really follow Yeah, if I go to the baseball game, I am like drinking beer and not watching the game, which I love doing. No, read it again, Betty says. Sorry, Betty. I'm totally missing out. I'm going to try and backpedal here. Hold on. Betty's like, what's Betty? Betty, well, Ron, when us older ladies have to pee, we got to go now. Oh, you're not going. You're just saying you got to go now. Yeah, I got you. I got you. All right. Glad you're not leaving us. Consider a trip to Gettysburg with Britain. Yeah, we have it on the list for sure. Is it Andersonville, right? The prison. I definitely want to go there. We could just like walk and probably feel energies there. But yeah, to do the history, from what I recall in Andersonville, the most horrid, one of the most horrid things that stands out in my mind, that prison from the Civil War, was that creek that would run through and they'd have to drink out of that after all the upstream, the soldiers would piss in it and poop in it. A lot of disease going on. I have another hour before Svengoolie comes on, says Jay Morgan. Oh, okay. Then I came on early enough. Cool. Ron, who's coming to Scotland with you? I'm coming. I think I'm planning on coming by myself. Britain's not coming. I'm going to be filming. But I'm hoping to do this coming summer, Scotland, and then make my way down to London. It's like those two areas, pretty much. Can't wait for you to get to El Paso and visit the grave of the Buffalo Soldiers, Terry Jones. Yeah, El Paso's pretty far west. I want to get to El Paso, and that's where John Wesley Hardin is, right? Yeah, lots of spooky places in Edinburgh. Yeah, I'm definitely got some things on my list there. But you know what I like to do is just get there and not do the usual stuff. I like to just go on adventures on my own and find stuff. Remember when I was in Vermont, I did the whole Vermont thing. And I literally, some of my best stuff, I think, was pulling over the road. I saw a cool cemetery and I went and explored it. Do you need a bodyguard? Donna asks. I don't think so. If I'm planning something to South America, now it depends on what country, but where I plan on going eventually, there's a couple of huge stories I want to do in South America. I should not need a bodyguard there. I'm really staying away from those countries. I was thinking of doing, except for there's a story I want to do in central Afghanistan in the mountains. There is a graveyard there with some mercenaries. What do you guys think? I don't need a bodyguard for that, right? I can just find my plane in. I'm just kidding. So no, I don't think I need a bodyguard. Have you ever experienced anything paranormal in a cemetery, Nolan? Yeah, just that Richard Warren Sears crypt. You must know about that, Nolan. I know you've been around, but not much else. I have not. I don't. As I said, I told you guys, I don't believe that the energies are with the dead bodies. I think that there are people that go to cemeteries, and never say never. There are times to try to explain things at cemeteries, like we did do an IQ at the Richard Warren Sears crypt, because there was some heat that was, but I think that was all in here, and in here it could be caused by unfriendly energies to make yourself anxious, but that still needs to be researched farther. But no, I don't believe that, like, our paranormal focus will be far from cemeteries. That's more history and remembering people. I think the energies, as I said before, are where the people died. And if they left a footprint, that is where it's going to be, and that's a big if. Because I believe, most of me actually believes when you die that, you have electrical energy, electromagnetic energy. It's all science. And again, tomorrow night on IQ, I spent 5 minutes talking about A to Z, how the earth and how we have, the earth is, everything is charged, and what things we're looking at and how it all works in a 5-minute speech with pictures. But it does attach to stuff. So it either, the electromagnetic energy is really about movement. So it either moves through an object, that is energy, or it attaches to it, or it floats in space. And I just wonder that when we die, all of that energy, which is mostly in our brain and in our muscles and flowing through the body, does it stay together and that's the soul, or does it dissipate and just become part of the overall field on this earth? So these are the areas that I plan on researching with Britain, but I don't think it's at the cemeteries. And all these people going to the cemeteries at graves with spirit boxes, wasting your time, in my opinion. Now, I could come back next year and go, let's go to the cemetery. Because I'm no expert. This is all, but this is just kind of where my mind is at now. And I reserve the right to change my mind based on getting more educated. What is a spirit box? Basically a spirit box, and I think Ashley might be more of an expert than me. I mean, we've bought a few just to tinker with, but a spirit box in some form, you know what, I'll show you one form of a spirit box. This is more a scientific, a radio scanner. Okay, so basically a spirit box is something that is trying to detect waves, mostly radio waves, maybe sometime when they say electromagnetic waves, they don't know what they're talking about, because you can't just go, that means you're looking for some arbitrary wave in the electromagnetic spectrum, okay? And that is like infinitesimal, from gamma to X-ray to visible light to infrared, microwave, and then radio are the longest. And that's kind of the order. And within each of those, there's limitless, and the wavelengths get longer. So that when somebody goes, I got an electromagnetic spirit box, they don't know what they're talking about, okay? And but for example, this one is basically a radio scanner, and I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. There's a lot of glare on that, but basically what it's doing is it is scanning. Now, what we want to do with this, I'm not using this. I just bought this to see what people are doing, but you can sweep. Let me see if I can get this thing. There you go. So see what it's doing? Can you hear that? What it's doing is it's sweeping through, in this case, the FM. I think it's FM. Light. Yeah, we're in the FM. Or you can go to and it's really trying to find something to lock in on. So, but a spirit box, I mean, Ashley, jump in. And I think they have recorders. So if you do hear something, I don't know where my mic is here. You hear that? And something that sounds like voices. And really, you know what I compare it to? Tell me if I'm wrong. Let me turn this thing off. When I was a kid, like a lot of you, in the 60s, our parents had these big radios, the 50s and the 60s, and they had tubes and a big dial, and the thing would move across, right? Those big radios, and it could be the little radios too. But when I was a kid, my dad would be telling me bedtime stories, and he'd turn that big radio on in the dark, it would light up. He'd go like this, and you hear, and all of a sudden, that's the aliens. Dad, what? Yeah, and I did this with Danny, and we had one. It sounded like tanks or something. I said, "That's coming from Mars. Listen, where are you? They're under attack, Danny. The Martians, they're under attack. We are literally tuning into the war. It's happening. How many, So my dad used to do that with me. And that's all this is you're listening for weird voices, which are weird anomalies coming through the radio. Now, I can't say that some of those are not spirits, but I think that's what a spirit box is, kind of in different shapes or forms. What do you guys think? Angeles Rosendale Cemetery is where Rasputin's daughter is buried. Thanks, Kat. That is the one. And as I was saying, you don't want to go in there with the camera. They will get you quick and throw your butt out of there. Now, 2 weeks, November 18th. Let me check my phone. 2 weeks from now, Friday, Saturday, There's a thing in Chicago, a convention called Days of the Dead. Okay, Days of the Dead. Go check it out. It's going to be at the Crown Plaza. Britain is all into it's a horror. It's a horror convention, one of the horror conventions, and it's a pretty good one, I guess. And I'm going to go. So if any of you are in Chicago or are going to be in Chicago, come and meet us up there. Britton and I are going to be hanging out there Saturday afternoon. Let me look at my calendar here. I think it's November 19th. November 19th, Saturday. I'm going to get there around 2 or 3. At 3, I think there's a big costume contest. There's liquor, bars, and there's a lot of actors, actresses there, I guess, and people have booths and you can see cool stuff. And Britton tells me that the channel Grim Life Adventures, the husband and wife are going to be there. And Britton is actually supposed to meet up with them. I think Britton keeps in touch with them. So I'm going to tag along with Britton and maybe I can meet them. That would be fun because I love their stuff. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do. But I think Danny and Nathan are going to try and come, my sons. So we're all going to be having a good time there in Rosemont, Illinois, which is right next to O'Hare Airport. So if you want, fly into that. We can have a little meetup. What do you guys think? I mean, it's kind of an informal thing. We're going to be floating around there, but there's lots of stuff. And then they have talks and lectures on all kinds of subjects. And yeah, dress up. As Narelle Creative Arts says, dress up, guys, for sure. What else? Sadie is loving. Oh, Sadie. I forgot about Sadie. I'll be right back. I got to let her in if she wants to come in. Sadie. Sadie. All right. I guess she does not want to come in because usually she barks when she wants to come in. Teresa received some sad news. See you later. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Hope everybody's okay. Danny C. Spirits might communicate through radio sounds, music, and talk radio. Yeah, that's what I was just showing you guys on this little device, which is actually, this is not our frontline equipment. This is kind of what I'm kind of throwing out the window. My daughter-in-law has family in West Virginia very close. She's gotten snowed in during March, had to postpone her flight back, so March. What about January? Anybody, maybe I missed it. Can you re-input your comments on Virginia in, yeah, it's going to be more like February, not January. Love your state facts and history, Nikki says. Cool, Nikki. Yeah, I do my research. So does Britain. Are you planning to visit Aleister Crowley's old house when you visit? Is it still there? I definitely will. That's a good one. Hey, Ashley or Alice, can you make a note of that? In fact, I'll just note it right now. I do not. I love that idea. I do not have that on my list, right? We've done all the stories there. Let me put that on my list for England. So you know what I do? I'll show you guys. You know, here's my, oh, I don't think you can see it. Anyway, I have every state. When I click on one of these, you know, all kinds of stories. So I'm going to go to England real quick here. And I'm just going to put a note at the top. Aleister Crowley house. All right. And then who gets a shout out for that? You got to go back. Darn it. Can't keep track. Who said Aleister Crowley house? Who suggested that? Anyway, send me an Instagram or an email because I keep copious notes. And when you guys give me a suggestion, I like not only take your name down, but if you have a emoji or whatever picture, because I love to do shout outs. I don't like to take credit. Yeah, Sadie. I hear her barking, so I'm going to have to, but I don't think she's at the door yet. But she'll make herself known when she wants to come in. Yay, I'm glad you're live. I've been watching for hello from Victoria, BC, Canada. Mandy Nichols, how you doing? Is it pretty cold up there? I'll bet Canada's pretty cold right now. My friend Sylvia also watches you on YouTube. A stroke a couple of weeks ago. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. She had a stroke. She's been transferred to rehab. So she's getting better. Oh, okay. Shout out to Sylvia. Get better. L. Sarles, friend of L. Sarles. Hope you get better. Gosh, prayers. But it sounds like you got through the worst of it. You know, you never know. You know, tomorrow's not guaranteed for any of us. I think I'm going to have a YouTube I'm going to do that. It's going to be like 5 years, setting the schedule 5 years from now. Just always 5 years. That 5 years after I die, it's just going to play automatically. I'm going to have some crazy message for you guys. Those of you that are left. Linda Schallback, hello from California. Love the live chat. What's up, Linda? You're in Sacramento area, right? What's going on? It's Scotland. Lindy Scotland said, Ron, it's Scotland, LOL. What's Scotland? Did I say Scotland wrong? Is it Scotland? What else we got? The Weston State Hospital for your IQ channel. Where's Weston State Hospital? What state is that in? I'll note that. Yeah, I love those hospitals, especially if you can get into them. Alfred Hitchcock Show. Is that coming on? We are having temperatures in the 70s in Woodstock, New Brunswick, Canada. Oh, yeah, but what about today? Still, oh, you know what? The stuff we got is coming from the south, from maybe it's heading your way. Hopefully not. Oh, Aleister Crowley is in Scotland. Oh, not England. Yeah. Okay. I think I have England and Scotland under the same. Hold on a second. No, very, very good catch there. You're right. And I knew that. I don't know why I said England. Well, I didn't know that. I thought it was England. I'm not going to. Let's see if I have Scotland or is it all lumped because it's that trip. No, I do have Scotland. Okay, I'm going to. There's something about Glasgow that I have here on my list. All right, hold on. We're going to pop that in here. Aleister Crowley House. I still need the shout out so I can put that on my notes. Lindy, Scotland. Whereabout are you in Scotland? Tell me who gave me the Aleister Crowley lead. Or Kimberly, if you have time, you probably know, just text it to me on Instagram. WV is in Weston State Hospital. You can get in. Michael Main says, but what state? And send me a text on that so I can put it on my state list. Hi from Huddersfield, West Yorkshire, England. Designs by Sarah Jane. Sarah, what are you designing? Can't see your logo. I'll have to check your site out. What do you got going? So yeah, I'm coming down. I'm going to start in Arkansas and then Texas, man. Solo. I'm going to be solo in Texas. There's one story I've got to do. San Antonio. That's the farthest south I think I'm going to get. I don't think I'm going to get over west to El Paso. But there's one story in San Antonio that I really want to do. Jackie Daytona. Dude, winters at the beaches around here are super cool. Heavy cold air from the ocean. I like that. Yeah. Are we talking Virginia? Is Virginia far enough south where it's not crazy cold like New York or Chicago? And again, it depends on the snowstorms, right? That come sweeping through. And last year, you guys got walloped. I remember I just got out of there like a week ahead of it before everything went downhill with that big snowstorm. Ron, you ought to look at Rodney, Mississippi, and make a trip there before the end of the winter and flooding season. Urban Ghost Hunters. What's in Rodney? Send me an email, facesforgottentoday@gmail.com. She's at the door, my Sadie. I'll be right back.